So we've decided to 3D print a curved track. We found this on Thingiverse and it was designed by Malamaker. So it's a curved track that's got a built-in connector at each side and a rise at the back that's built in as well. Now I've got a couple of example makes that were put on Thingiverse. So this grey one here was posted by GOJP, and I've got another one coming up. So this was another make that was posted, this orange one here, and that was posted by Geek Street Solutions on Thingiverse. So Paul, what do you want to say about this part that you're printing?
Well, it's a 180-degree turn and it's got a 30-degree bank on it, but we can't print it all in one piece.
Because it's quite big, isn't it?
But Malamaker, as it's shown here, has split it up into two parts for those people who haven't got a big 3D printer. So you print it in two halves and then join it together. So I'm really looking forward to this. On our printer, it's a 10-hour print.
10-hour print for half.
Yeah.
So you're printing half today.
And half tomorrow.
And then the other half, how are you going to join it?
Well, Malamaker's put some holes in them for joining them, where you can use a threaded insert and a bolt, but I think somebody else just joined them together with cable ties. I might just use a nut and bolt.
Okay. So this has been printing for 2 hours and 49 minutes.
It's completed 20%, 1/5 of it. It's looking good.
It is, isn't it? So the print's 90% complete now. How do you think it's looking, Paul?
That's looking alright. There's a little bit of stringing at the back. Well, I'm sure that'll clean up okay. But it's looking good, yeah.
So, both pieces have been printed out now.
And fixed together.
Got a join down the middle there.
Which is pretty accurate because it's very smooth and there's barely a lumpy bit there. It's very good.
So how did you fix it together, Paul?
Well, I used two cap screws or Allen-headed bolts that they're sometimes called, and I tapped. These are M4, just that's the size, M4 metric 4mm thread, and I put a tap through the plastic on one side and on the other side, so it put an M4 thread on, and these are fixed in nicely without using brass inserts, and they're nice and tight, and it doesn't look like it's going to strip the thread, and it's really held them together nicely.
Oh, it looks like a good print, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I like how it's got the rise on it, and the connectors is all like built in.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Lovely and smooth.
Okay, folks, we've got another box opening, another Hot Wheels box opening. It's another Track Builder pack, and it's the Premium Curve pack. So Paul's tearing into this.
Colour diagrams.
Wow, we've never had a colour diagram before.
The possibilities. And it's got like girder structures in it. It's not
Girder?
Just, yeah, you know, these cutouts like you get in bridges and things like that. All the good connectors, great stuff. So we've got 1 to 3 pieces of curve there so far. We've got here straight bits, different colours, yellow and orange.
Two different colours.
Oh, another curve.
Another curve.
Locked into the box with little ties.
So this is how the new pack's curve compares with the 3D printed curve.
Okay.
Those connectors are different, Paul.
The connectors are the same, but the back of the track's different. If we look at the back of the track on Well, we've done away with the simple grooves. This plastic's harder as well than not vinyl. And it's a more complicated lock-in mechanism for the...
Oh, it's interesting.
You put one end there and one end there. It's 180 degrees, but it's wider.
And Paul's just been saying this is rigid plastic rather than flexible plastic. So on the new one, it's
more rigid. I wonder what these are for.
Decoration.
Oh, I know what they're for. They're for putting supports in so you can bank it, I think.
Okay, so what we've done here is we've set up the curved track with a booster pack, and we've set up 3D printed curves, because Paul's printed another one and fixed it together, with the straight pack and the booster pack to compare the two. But before we put a car on these, just want to point out something. Though this booster pack is sold along with the track packs, like you can put them all together, there's a big problem, because the tracks that are provided in the track packs are either that size of the yellow one or that size of the orange one, but there are no pieces that are the equivalent length of the booster, what the booster adds. So what you get is a track that won't go together properly because it's lopsided. So on here, because it's shorter on this side, you know, it's pulling away, and on this one it's twisted, isn't it, Paul?
But this
so that's a big,
slightly more sloppy the way this goes together, so it allows for that.
So that allows for that.
Almost.
But it's not very good. So first of all, we're going to show what happens when we put a car on the flat track with the 3D printed. Okay. So it still manages to get round even though it's all pulled up, which is really good. So that was the flat track with the 3D printed curves, and now we're going to use the curved track, and let's see what will happen. Flies off, just flies off the track. So that's because it's all twisted, isn't it, Paul? So basically it flies off the track. So we've got a problem with a twist there, and this all twisted because you can't get a piece of track
that wide,
or that
long, I should say.
So what we're going to do next,
cut a piece of orange track as long as the power booster base, so that when we put it in this side, it'll
even it up,
yeah,
on both,
make a
both
nice oval. Yeah.
So we're going to cut 2 pieces of orange. Okay, so Paul's cut the 2 pieces of track, one there and one there. So now there is no twisting of the track because they're equal on both sides. So now we're going to see how they compare, and Paul's got the same red car to go in each. So it's quite obvious from that test that with the 3D printed curves, the car can go all the way round and keep going round, and with the curve pack the car stops and can't go all the way round. It could be that the 3D printed curved track, the car's getting round because it's smaller, because as you can see it's narrower. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add extra track to the 3D printed curve pack and see if the car still makes it all the way around. Okay, so we've added an extra piece of orange track on either side of the 3D printed curve track, so it's easy as big enough, isn't it? As big?
Bigger. The perimeter's bigger.
So you would say the perimeter is bigger. So Paul's going to run them both through again and see how they perform against each other. So, as you can see, with the curve pack, car's just not getting round. And even though the 3D printed pack is now longer, the car is still getting all the way round. So basically, the conclusion of this is that we really do not recommend this curved track pack because it just doesn't work, does it, Paul?
No, it's odd. There seems to be more friction when the car goes through. The bits fit together in this sort of new style connector and on the track, but it's a bit sloppy. Initially, I quite like the look of it when we got it out of the packet, but I don't like the way it performs at all.
No, it's hopeless. We're not even going to keep it, are we?
No, I'm going to sell it.
Yeah. So we would not recommend this at all.
And it was the premium track builder curve pack.